On Global TV News Express, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation urges Nigerians to shun calls for anti-hunger protests. Obasanjo Ezekwesili identified discontinuity as ban to public service reforms. In business, Tinubu approves 50,000 naira monthly stipend for Niger Delta youths. On our foreign scene, Sudan's military leader survives drone strike. And in sports, COVID-19 looms over Olympics with several athletes testing positive. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Express on Global Television. It's coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Jumai Manson. We'd like to remind you that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365. Now the news in full. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, has urged Nigerians to shun the proposed nationwide protests and instead pursue peace, dialogue and collaboration in addressing the country's challenges. The SGF made this statement during a press conference with journalists and media executives at the Radio House in Abuja. He acknowledged the right to protest, but expressed concerns about the planned protests being hijacked by bandits, insurgents and other criminals. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Betokun, has met with lawyers and activists who have spoken in support of peaceful protests planned by young Nigerians against government policies. Others who attended the virtual meeting include police spokesperson Muyiwa Adejobi, senior advocate Femi Falana and Ebun Adebowa, and human rights lawyer Inibihe Efyong. Efyong, who had pledged legal support for arrested protesters, provided some details of discussions at the meeting. The meeting is believed to be part of the Nigerian government's effort to prevent the planned protests by young Nigerians from turning violent. Ahead of Thursday's planned nationwide protest over hunger and hardship in the country, the Center for Democracy and Development, CDD West Africa, has expressed concern over the threats and responses. Director of the center, Dr. Dauda Garuba, urged the Nigerian government to respect citizens' right to peaceful assembly. He said, by upholding citizens' right to protest, the government can ensure a peaceful two-way exchange by listening to the voices of and feedbacks from citizens. Over now to former President Olusegun Obasanjo has identified discontinuity as the major ban to public service reforms in the country. Obasanjo stated in Abuja at a national workshop organized by the Aginogbe Foundation, the former president highlighted 5 principal elements to reforms, which include the initiator of the reforms, the driver, the owner, executor, and sustainer. Also speaking, a former Minister of Education, Dr. Obe Ezekwesili, noted that the importance of political environment is usually underplayed by technocrats, as the quality of politics drives the incentives of people who decide to stay or leave the public service. The federal government has activated National Emergency Operations Center to coordinate responses and provide timely support to victims of floods and public health concerns. The Director General, National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, Zibada Umar, disclosed this at a National Emergency Coordination Forum held in Abuja. The forum brought together stakeholders to review the current flood situation and strengthen mitigation and response strategies across Nigeria. The Imo State Governor, Hope Uzodinma, has called on the Southern Nigerian Traditional Ruler Council from the 17 states of the region to reach out to the northern counterparts to unite Nigeria. Uzodinma spoke at the inauguration of the Southern Nigerian Traditional Rulers Council in Owerri by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, represented by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume. Kike Lobo Okere tells us more.
This is the first time in the history of the Southern Nigeria for traditional rulers from the 3 regions to come under one roof to chart a way forward for their people. Traditional rulers from the 17 states of the Southern Nigeria gathered in Owerri, the Imo State capital, for the inauguration of their council. The inauguration saw the Oni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Enito Ogunwusi, as the chairman of the Southern Nigerian Traditional Rulers Council, while the co-chairman, Obi of Obinugu, His Royal Highness Eze Cletus Ilomoya, and His Royal Highness King Jaja of Opobo, then they say Douglas Jaja. The Imo State Governor, Hope Uzodinma, urges the traditional rulers to do all their best to reconcile their differences and love one another genuinely, while charging them to reach out to their counterparts in the northern part of the country so as to forge a lasting national unity for the peace, progress, and development of the country.
I charge you to reach out to your counterparts in the northern part of the country and forge a lasting national unity for the interest of peace, progress, and development of the country. This is a task that you as royal fathers must accomplish.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who was represented by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, appealed to Traditional Rulers Council to advise the subject against the planned protests.
I want to appeal to you to speak to your children to keep away from this. It's not worth it. And those who are organizing protests, 99% are not in the country.
The chairman, Southern Traditional Rulers Council and Oni of Ife, says the coming together of the monarch is to synergize for peace in Nigeria and uphold the rich cultural heritage.
It's about time for all of us to come together as Southern Nigerian Monarchs Forum for us to uphold our rich heritage. We are not religious rulers. We are not religious leaders. We are traditional rulers. We are there to uphold our heritage. We are there to uphold our tradition and culture.
The inauguration of the Southern Traditional Rulers Council marked the high point of the event, with Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun and representative of the President inaugurating the traditional rulers. The task ahead of the royal fathers must be accomplished. Nigeria needs fatherly wisdom to navigate through the storms posed by the ethnic and the religious differences. From the Government House in Owerri, Kikelomo Okeri, Global Television News.
Thank you, Kiki Alomo, for that report. Overnight, the Kano State Independent Electoral Commission has scheduled November 30th, 2024 for the local government elections in the state. The chairman of the commission, Sani Malufashi, announced the date while addressing a news conference in Kano. He said the notification of the election will be issued on 15th November. Nomination forms will be available from October 1st to October 11th, with submission of the forms due by October 18th, 2024. He noted that the screening of candidates will take place from October 18th to October 20th, while the list of eligible candidates will be released on October 24th. The elections will follow thereafter. The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, has expressed concerns about the political tension in Edo State ahead of the September 21st governorship election in the state. Professor Yakubu said INEC will be meeting with security agencies to address the concerns. Edikan Michael has details.
The INEC chairman, speaking at the quarterly meeting with civil society representatives in the commission headquarters, Abuja, called the attention of the stakeholders to the recent political crisis in Edo, leading to attacks on its local government offices and physical confrontations among candidates.
We are concerned about the safety of candidates, agents, and supporters, as we are about the security of our own officials, security of observers, journalists, service providers, and above all, the voters.
Speaking on the preparation for the election, the INEC chairman revealed that additional bimodal voter accreditation system machines had been provided to the Edo State to train election duty personnel and to provide contingency support on election day.
Campaign by political parties and candidates is in full swing in both Edo and Ondo states. We urge you to intensify your advocacy for peaceful elections, including engagement with stakeholders. The Commission finds the recent event in Edo State, resulting in the deaths of a security personnel, worrisome. Happily, there has been no incident known to the Commission since then. Nevertheless, the Commission will meet with security agencies as early as Friday this week under the auspices of the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security.
The INEC chairman also observed that with 52 days to the election in Edo State, Some parties were yet to submit the list of their polling and coalition agents. It therefore called on party leaders to expedite their registration and upload the requirements on the portals, adding that the final register for the 2024 governorship elections in Edo and Ondo State are being finalized. The representative of Center for Credible Leadership, Nwambu Gabriel, noted that as a key player in the political process, civil society organizations remain steadfast in their commitment to ensuring electoral integrity.
The level of preparedness is very high. Consequently, we acknowledge and commend the opening remarks made by the Honorable Chairman, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, which highlighted the importance of transparency, accountability, inclusivity, and conducting free, fair, and credible elections as we march towards Edo and Ondo governorship elections, respectively.
He added that the organizations were dedicated to upholding the sanctity of the ballot box, respecting the will and mandates of the people, and promoting political stability as well as the well-being of Nigerians. Edikan Michael, Global TV News.
Thank you, Edikan Michael, for that report. The Nigerian singer and songwriter Onyeka Onwenu is dead. She died at the age of 72, having collapsed after a performance at a birthday party. Ogochukwu Mambono has details.
Late Onyeka Onwenu, who was also an actress, human rights activist, journalist, and a politician, started her musical career in the early 80s with her first song, Ekwe. The deceased, who hailed from Imo State, was a former chairperson for Imo State Arts and Culture. In 2013, was appointed Executive Director and Chief Executive Officer of the National Center for Women Development. She was nominated for different awards, including the award of Best Actress in a Leading Role. She is survived by 2 sons. Late Onyeka Onwenu would be remembered by her hit song, One Love, released in 1991.
May her gentle soul rest in perfect peace. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has extended his profound condolences to the family of a late singer, songwriter, actress, journalist, activist, and politician, Onyeka Onwenu. Tinubu conveyed his condolences through a statement signed by Special Advisor Media and Publicity, Ajurin Galale. Tinubu celebrated the life of the versatile and extremely gifted artist who devoted herself to a wide range in artistic endeavors and expressions, bringing joy and laughter to many. He extended his condolences to the entertainment industry, the Imo State government, and the numerous fans of the departed star over this immeasurable loss. Professor Ali Patami has re-emphasized the importance of soft skills or academic qualifications to achieve prosperity in any career, urging the government to integrate the skills into curriculum. Speaking at a graduation ceremony at the Al-Nasr Center of Comprehensive Education in Abuja, he made a reference to the Quran regarding the importance of knowledge and skill acquisition. Pantami says successful career depends on individual perceptions and priorities, adding that the same people would rather chase material gains while others prefer to focus on their passion. You're watching News Express, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms by using the Global TV engine and the handles now showing on your screen. When News Express returns, Hamas leader assassinated in Iran. We'll bring you this and other more stories right after this break. Do stay with us. You're welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, this is Global Television bringing you live broadcast of News Express. Thank you for staying with us. On our business desk, President Bola Tinubu has approved a monthly stipend of 50,000 naira for 10,000 youths in Niger Delta to alleviate current economic hardship. Senate President Godswill Akpabio announced this at the Niger Delta Sensitization Conference for Ethnic Nationalities, Youth and Women in Port Harcourt. The payments will be made through the NDDC Youth Intensive Scheme and will last for an initial 12 months with a possibility of extension. In a bid to caution the effect of the inflationary trend in Nigeria, the federal government, through the Nigerian Customs Service (NCS), has suspended import duties and taxes on some items to make them more affordable for Nigerians. The Comptroller General of the Nigerian Customs Service, Adewale Adeniyi, who disclosed this, said the government was committed to addressing the situation in a seamless manner with a view to reducing hunger in the land. He explained that global inflation is impacting countries worldwide, including Nigeria, adding that the agency has streamlined export processes to facilitate the efficient movement of Nigerian goods to international markets. The federal government has assured Nigerians that the price of food items nationwide will crash due to its commitment to ensure food security through the use of new farming techniques in Nigeria. The Minister of State for Agriculture and Food Security, Dr. Aliyu Abdullahi, who stated this in Abuja at the 48th Annual Conference of the Soil Science Society of Nigeria, said the government is fully aware of the current food crisis in Nigeria. Abdullahi explained that the government was exploring various indices to ensure food security in the country. On our foreign scene now, Hamas top political leader Ismail Haniyeh has been killed in Iran. In a statement, the Palestinian group said Haniyeh, who lived in exile, was killed after a treacherous Zionist attack on his residence. Senior Hamas official Musa Abu Marzouk said the assassination is a cowardly act that will not be unpunished. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Ground Corps also confirmed Haniyeh's death hours after he attended a swearing-in ceremony for the country's new president, Masoud Pezeshkian. U.S. Democratic President candidate Kamala Harris has launched a swearing attack on Donald Trump, telling her biggest campaign rally yet that the momentum was shifting in the White House race and daring the Republican to debate her face-to-face. Vice President Harris' trip to Atlanta, Georgia, comes as a re-energized Democratic regard the swing state has been in play again after it looked beyond hope on the President Joe Biden before his shock withdrawal from the 2024 election. The presumptive Democratic nominee is aiming to extend the party's 2024 battleground map and appeal to young black voters, delivering a firm 20-minute speech to about 10,000 supporters in a packed arena and pledging Americans are not going back to the failed policies of Trump. Sudan's military leader, General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, has survived an assassination attempt. The army spokesperson Nabil Abdullahi, who announced this in a statement, blamed the paramilitary rapid support forces, which the army had been battling for the last 16 months for control of the country. He said 2 drones had struck an army graduation ceremony, killing 5 people at a base in Jabat in the east, territory under the control of the military. In sports, the Athletics Federation of Nigeria says the body can't explain how the name of the women's 100-meter national champion, Favor Ofili, is missing from the women's 100-meter event of the Paris Olympic Games, insisting she was registered for the 100-meter, 200-meter, and the women's 4x100-meter relay. Ofili raised the alarm, accusing the Nigerian Olympic Committee and the AFN of failing to register her. Technical Director of the AFN, Samuel Onikiku, however, said the body is as shocked as the athlete over the development. Super Eagles star Kelechi Iheanacho is set for medical ahead of his anticipated transfer to 7-time UEFA European League champion Sevilla. Iheanacho's contract with English Premier League club Leicester City expired on June 30th, which makes him a free agent. Despite his availability, the Nigerian forward has taken time to join a new club with significant interest from various clubs in the EPL, Turkish Super League, and the Saudi Pro League. 3 years after the Tokyo Olympics were held amid strict precautions with no fans because of the global COVID-19 pandemic, There is now another fear of the disease in Paris. The virus has forced athletes to withdraw from the event at the Paris Games and has others donning masks again. Several athletes have tested positive, including Australian swimmer Lani Polster. She was a medal hope in the women's 1,500 meters freestyle but had to withdraw from the event. And as we end the Global News Express, let's take a quick look at our top stories again. Tinubu mourns Queen of Songs Onyeka Onwenu. Obasanjo Ezekwesili identified discontinuity as bound to public service reforms. Over now to our business, we brought to you that Tinubu approves 50,000 naira monthly stipend for Niger Delta youths. And our foreign scene, Sudan's military leader survives drone strikes, says the army. And in sports, COVID-19 looms over Olympics with several athletes testing positive. And that's it on News Express, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Remember, we're on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms by using the Global TV engine at the handles now showing on your screen. I am Jumai Manson. Thank you for watching.
Get a shot in, squares it into the back. It's